Director Ingmar Bergman's 1961 film The Virgin Spring is an allegory of the crucifixion told as a revenge tale, with a young virgin girl named Karin playing the role of Christ and a pregnant servant girl named Ingari playing the role of mankind. In this film, I am going to explain the film's infamous rape scene and some of the other scenes in the film from the biblical perspective. The title tracks I'll list here are from the DVD version, so if you have it on Blu-ray, the order may be kind of different. Let's get going with Title 1, where we see a pregnant servant girl named Ingari who is jealous of a young virgin named Karin, who is the daughter of a wealthy farmer. The farmer, whose name is Tori, and his wife Moretta both pray to a small statue of Jesus on the cross. Karin is supposed to take candles to church for Mass this morning because she is a virgin, and the custom is that the candles are to be delivered by a virgin. But Karin is not feeling well and is still in the bed. She spent the previous night dancing with boys and had worn herself out. Now, this scene represents the Last Supper as described in the Bible. Karin's mysterious illness is an omen of something terrible that's going to take place later in the story. Ingari's character is a female version of Cain, and she is scorned by the servants and the farmer's wife for giving away her virtue. Ingari is very dirty, which represents sin, and Karin is very clean, which is a metaphor for virtue. So that's kind of the first scene in the film kind of sets that up. And we're going to kind of fast forward here. We don't have much time. And in this scene, I think that's Title 6, Karin and Ingari are on horseback on the way to deliver the candles to the church, and they are having a conversation, and Karin vows that she'll only have a child in marriage. Now, you know, this seems innocent, but this is also sort of like an omen that foreshadows her rape, because she's not going to get married. In the same scene, an old man happens to tell Karin, he's a shepherd, and he's just on the countryside, and they happen to cross paths, and he tells her that it's better to blossom on the road than to wither in church. This is another omen that foreshadows Karin's rape and murder. This statement is also a slight against the church's position on chastity. And let's go to another scene here. Now this is an interesting scene. And Gary meets the old man in the woods who sees and hears what men think in their hearts. And he makes human sacrifices to the pagan god Odin, and he already knows Ingari and offers her heart's desire in exchange for sex. Ingari is torn between her conscience and her hatred for Karin and escapes the old man. Now, this scene is a crossroads in Karin's journey to the church. She and Ingari separate, and Ingari is left to consider whether to go through with her wish to see harm to Karin. The old man in the woods is Karin's conscience. The presence of water in this scene is important because of its symbolic meaning. Water in Christianity symbolizes cleansing as well as life and death. In this case, the brook running through the woods represents the opportunity for Ingari to turn back on her desires for Karin's death. Ingari could use this water to clean the dirt from her face, as she does in the final scene of the film, but she does not. She rejoins Karin, but she is still torn between her conscience and her desire to fulfill her jealous desire to see Karin killed. Now we're going to kind of fast forward here a little bit. And Karin meets the three herdsmen, and she offers to share her food with them. And in the next scene, the herdsmen show Karin their true motives after getting her to stray from the path. Karin tries to escape, but they overpower her, and the adult herdsmen rape her as the boy watches. There's three herdsmen, 2 men and 1 boy. And Gary sees all of this from a distance. You know, she could have intervened. She had a large stone, but she dropped it. And after raping Karin, the herdsmen kill her and strip off her clothes. Now Karin falls victim to the herdsman's lust, representing Jesus' crucifixion due to the fact that she is considered a pure sacrifice. The paradigm is reinforced by the lamb she holds when she realizes what the herdsmen intend to do. In the Bible, Jesus is often referred to as a lamb, an animal representing innocence. The men who rape the girl leave the boy to watch the goats. The boy attempts to cover the girl's naked body with dirt. Now again, this is an ironic scene because the boy of the three herdsmen is the only one who feels any guilt for this young girl's rape and murder. And he's so sickened, as a matter of fact, that he even throws up. And the fact that she's naked, that represents shame, which the boy tries to cover up with dirt. Now, I'm going to kind of fast forward here a little bit more, because after that scene, the three herdsmen happen to wind up at Karin's home, where her father invites them inside from the cold to eat with his family. And they wind up offering, as a token of their appreciation, the dress to the parents. And Tori ends up killing the three herdsmen, including the boy. But Ingmar leads the parents to the spot where they find Karin's body in the forest. And Karin's father, he implores God as to why he had to allow his daughter to die. And this is a very, very beautiful scene. And it's a very descriptive scene, because the way that it's shot, Tori is shot from the back and he's shot from a distance. And this has the effect of isolating him against his surroundings, which makes the scene look even more introspective and impersonal. And it makes it look universal, like he's not only just speaking of his daughter and his situation, but he's speaking universally for all of us. Like, why does God allow bad things to happen? And in the last scene of the film, a brook of water breaks free underneath Karin's body. And for the first time in the film, Ingmar washes the dirt off of her face. Now, she had opportunities throughout the film to wash the dirt off of her face, but she didn't, and she couldn't wash the dirt off her face because that dirt represents sin. And the only way that she could clean that sin off of her was through the sacrifice of a virgin, of someone who was pure like Christ, and that was Karin. And that is a very, very beautiful scene, and a very beautiful way for that film to end, and also for this this presentation to end. I really appreciate you taking the time out to watch this video, and I would appreciate if you leave a comment or a like. In the description, you'll find a link that will take you to my blog, where you'll be able to read more film related material, such as the presentation that I just gave. Thanks again, and I really appreciate it, and I will see you again next time.